Hit it.
Cool. Here we are. Welcome, everybody. It is Monday night. It is Tuesday. Oh, sorry, Monday, the 2nd of February. Start as we mean to go on. Ignore that. It's all good TV. Yes, this is Aardvarks and Dragons Blood Bowl League Season 10. It's started now, and there is no going back. Yes, welcome to your first Season 10 Monday Night Roundup. My name is Scott, not that one, and I'm here tonight to guide you through the opening weekend of Season 10. Not just the league draw, but all of the carnage and excitement that Season 10 has given us already. Praise be to Nuffle. So, dear coach, strap yourself in for this week's update. And as you do that, please welcome, first up, the man whose dice are simply beyond the laws of probability and physics. Coach of the Blackship Ballers, Mr. Tom Hovell. Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, sir.
How have you been, and how have you found the first 2 days of Season 10?
Oh, it's been really exciting, actually. The main event on Saturday with the draw and everything was very, very good. I'm sure we'll get into a bit more of it. Really pleased to see so many old and new coaches in this season.
Excellent, excellent. And secondly, dear coach, listener, viewer, for your excitement, we are also joined by the coach who put the Tier 1 teams are for cowards philosophy into his own Tier 1 team, A&DBBL League Commissioner and the driving force behind the Butchers, Mr. Luke Baggett. Good evening, Mr. Baggett. And how has the first 48 hours of Season 10 been for you?
Hello. Yeah, it's been really good. Draw day was really fun. I think everyone had a good time, and I think we had maybe 8 games or so played in the store, which was really exciting, and a few double headers, which is always impressive when people manage to achieve that. I don't think Orcs are Tier 1. I think they're Tier 2. So I'm staying strong.
That's what we love. That's what we love. And for everybody's, we were hoping to, why roll a 2 when a 3 is better? We were also hoping to have the coach who has made the education system what it is today, coach of the Goreforge Smashers, Simon Stevens, but like a typical reflection of the education system today, no show. So ho-hum, supply teachers all around. Let's crack on.
Detention, yeah.
Indeed. Last Saturday, the 31st of January 2026, just after 10:30 a.m. in the morning, it saw the launch event and league draw at Aardvarks and Dragons for Season 10. 35 coaches whose fate and quality of life over the next 4 months was decided by plastic orange balls and James and Tom's ball pulling action. So tonight, after this 2 days only and just 48 hours of competition, we have 9 games to review. Plus, we're going to look at all the leagues and preview some of the big games coming your way. But to quote the blue-faced 90s Mel Gibson, hold. Do you like that, Tom? I took that from your Netflix series, but yeah, thanks. Yes, quick housekeeping time, everybody. So, first of all, Aardvarks and Dragons. It's not just 2 random animal names in a sentence. It is the center of your Blood Bowl world. Go there, spend money, be fulfilled, just like the Buddha and other deities are available. Be fulfilled against. Remember also, Valentine's Day is coming. For that special someone in your life, there is always something in Aardvarks and Dragons, even for yourself. Secondly, booking games. You've been told, you know. If you don't know by now, seek out the one they call Luke Baggett, Chris Coe, or Scott Phipps. If you don't know what they look like, look in the screen. The man with the fabulous facial hair, that's the man. Hunt him down. He will tell you. He is the chosen one.
Just to clarify, me and Chris can't book games. Please do that through Scott. But if you don't know how to get hold of Scott, message us first.
Devastated already. See what happens, Tom, when you become a Tier 1 coach. No responsibility, no consequential thinking. Yeah. Okay, Blood Bowl community then, everybody. Keep in touch. Share those thoughts on Discord. Let us know what you work in progress. Let us know. Use Discord to book your games. Keep in touch with the coaches in your divisions. At this point, I do have to say as a reminder and as a statement, James Handley's legal team have been in touch and advised us through the form of physical intimidation that we incorrectly stated last week's And we said that James's middle names they are not Great Vengeance and Furious Anger. We do offer the fakest of apologies to James for any intentional distress. And for the record, we are happy to confirm James's middle names are indeed Fluffykins and Dayglow Lemon. Thank you. A reminder, don't be that coach. The weekend showed us we will have games where the dice go one way, despite you wanting them to go the other as well, especially when you borrow someone else's dice. Yes, these games make us consider our life choices. We're all going to be there. There's going to be good games and not so games. There is a long way to go. A reminder of charity. The Blood Bowl deaths are already making a difference to charity for the food bank donations that we are supporting this year as well. So keep getting casualties, keep killing elves and whatever other players you want to kill. A reminder, if you don't have an end zone, speak to someone on Discord, whether it's one of our 3D printing crew, whether it's people like Graham, etc., etc. Donate. For a small fee to change someone's life, you can have a fabulous name for your team that looks great on the pitch as well. Yeah, keep an eye out for that. If you want a A&DBBL and mug, let us know. We'll put you in the right place as well. Discord, remember those bounties. If there is a particular player you want to kill for no particular reason, and you just want to kill a player, pop onto the Discord board, put a good bounty against it, have a lot of fun, raise some excitement and raise some money for charity as well. Just a quick shout out. Thank you for everybody who's joining us in chat this evening. Good evening. I see Dazamak in there. Good evening, Ben. Lovely to see the magnificent BB Nut and all his glory joining us today. I did see your little half nut halflings this morning. Well played, sir. Well played. So, without further delay, without further ado, what we're going to do, let's jump to tour play. Let's start looking at these first matches. And let's start going into in terms of where we are. So, A&DBBL Season 10. We're going to start with Orcs versus Necromantic Horror. We're going to look at the Gore Forge smashes by some guy called Simon who never appears, never calls, never sends you flowers, nothing like that. Versus the man, the myth, the legend. Drive safely if you're listening there, Mr. John Reeder. Started off, this looked a very, very close game on paper. SP would suggest otherwise, but a very fine 2-1 score, which could have gone either way. As our resident Necro Horror player on the stream tonight, Mr. Tom Hovell, 2 experienced coaches, very close results. What's your takes on this?
Well, I think John can get the award for the first injury. I believe that turn 1 injury, Orc Lumber, was literally his first rolls of his dice after kickoff. I think that came within probably about 10 minutes after the draw had been done. So clearly off to a good start. There's lots to talk about here. Clearly, just moving from Black Orcs to Orcs, he's still doing the fouling quite consistently with Goblins on this team as well, because they are fouling practically every other turn on the first half. Touchdown obviously comes in turn 5, which is interesting, and gave a few extra turns, hopefully for them to score again. I'm just wondering, with the Orcs now, there seems to definitely be a new interest, a completely new set of style of play, with a troll and goblins in it, where before in the previous season it was mainly all just orcs. So it's interesting to watch these orc teams. I know there's one particular person on this stream keeping a close eye on how well his team gets on.
Luke, Simon obviously scored there to equalise it in turn 14. Mr. John Reeder doing what only John Reeder sometimes seems to be able to do, turning it around with a turn 16 touchdown. Any surprise from you, really, or do you think it's one of those matches whereby it might be slightly asymptomatic of what we've seen this season? Teams can score touchdowns throughout the game, so it's no longer turn 14 or turn 15 touchdown is a foregone conclusion for a draw or result. What's your thoughts?
I was lucky enough to, well, I didn't have a game for a lot of the start of these games, so I was able to walk around and see a lot of these games playing out. And I think what Tour Play doesn't really show here is how close it actually was. And I think there was quite a few turns where Simon had, kind of one or two bad rolls, which prevented him from turning this either into a draw or a win here. And I know there were some pro teammates which didn't quite come off, which is not always the best thing to rely on, but it's definitely the best touchdown in the game. So, and I think it's unfortunate losing. Having multiple casualties turn 1 and 2. And what I think this also doesn't show is John actually got a second casualty, which then got sponged, I think, on that turn 1. So Simon was kind of down players immediately. But yeah, I think it was actually far closer than it looked, just on Tour Play alone.
18 star player points for John, so maybe not quite reflecting what it is. John saving up those SPP. Obviously, you can see 4 there on the flesh column, 5 on the werewolf as well. He's in one of those positions where you can succumb to temptation there, Tom, and just go with the random skill. Or, it looks like John, he's played Necro before. He's an experienced coach with Necro. Looks like he's biding his time.
Absolutely. I think it's been a long overdue for him to bring this team back, but he knows how to play it well. So I'll be interested to see what skills he adds to those teams over the season.
No block at the moment, Luke. Is that something we can expect in vast amounts here on these Necro?
I think so. I think we had probably a day or two where there was a possibility that no one took any elite skills, and I think it's kind of like an arms race, that as soon as one person does it, the other people have to. And I think I'm sure John has a plan for this team, which is why he's not randoming any skills, and he's not really got any players yet who can random them. And he's only 10k off. No, sorry, 20k off his next werewolf, which I wonder if he'll take early or hang on for. But you're right. I think this is a heavily developed team with a good spread of SPP off this game one already.
Agree, and I think it's a good start for Mr. Reader. It puts him in a very good position to build on for the Howlers as well. Long way to go for Simon, and I think with the Orcs, he's got every opportunity to develop this team and really influence the shape of how this league is going to work out. One of the things I just want to call out, which is lovely to see, after the game, Simon and John actually took the time, talked through how Simon may have on that turn 16 done the defense slightly different, not to give John the opportunity, but it was one of the things I think which we don't necessarily celebrate enough. We talk about it, but just to call it out, the interaction between both coaches, the learning, the talking through games and scenarios was really a good thing to see, and I think it's a commendable thing that needs to be, I can only endorse it for all of our coaches. Don't be afraid to have a conversation, talk about things you're not too sure about, especially if you're a new coach to the league. And yeah, good luck to John as he continues in his quest for his 4th trophy. And Simon, I'm sure, will bounce back with those Orcs in terms of their newfound agility and break tackle. So moving on then. 2-1 victory for John and his Necro. Moving on then to the Honeyman, Mr. Super Lovely Car, against Beaks' Wood, the Woodies, yours truly. Any questions you want me to ask, but I give you a brief synopsis of how much carnage was this, gentlemen?
Get over this one.
Do you need a moment, or?
No, my therapy came out on Saturday night. I wrote it all down. I drank too much whiskey, and it was a good time.
So tell us the story.
Yeah. So first of all, Nuffle, for all Blood Bowl coaches, wherever you are, Nuffle does not smile upon you if you forget your dice. So I did one of the most craziest things I've ever done. I decided to borrow dice from Tom Hovell. I know what you're thinking, you foolish, foolish boy. So the dice were okay. Good old Carl, he had some inducements. He took a mascot, he took a bribe, and he took Nobler. Nobler is filthy. And on the first drive, so Carl won the the dice roll, shall we say. Carl won, decided to receive. Nobler at that point blitzed my war dancer, and obviously when you've got dodge, block, and you 3-up and stunty, why wouldn't you? Blitz the war dancer, so I used my went straight through armor, straight to injury, straight to and I think it was 15 if I remember, a dead war dancer without even rolling a dice. So I used the magic sponge and put him back in the reserve box. And after that, as you can see on the left hand side, those dice for Carl, I hope he's in chat tonight, but it was brutal. As you can see there, the dice were ridiculous. And if we look at the actual sequence of events, and you think this is after I've lost one war dancer without even picking up and rolling a dice as well. So after that turn one, I had a dead would have caused, as you can see there, by a nice little fouling gobbo as well. My wood elf thrower, 2 dice block against goblin. Rolled a double skull, thought, okay, I'll use a reroll on this. I don't want anything to happen. Rolled them both down in the skull, and you can guess what happened. Didn't even break armor on the goblin. We've got a dead thrower. So much for the cunning plan and the strategy for building up SP throughout the season. As you can see there, casualty from the troll. So by turn 3, I'm 4 players down. After that, get another dead elf from good old Nobler as well. Lots of fouls. And it got to a point, by the time we got to turn 8, I had 2 elves on the pitch. I was at one stage thinking that would be my first half pitch clearance ever. It was brutal. Even Carl felt, I wouldn't say total sympathy, but a slight tinge of sympathy as well. So do I have the wood elf dice? Ragnar Kills is asking. No, I don't, but I'm just going to take any of the dice rather than Tom Hubbles. Love you, Tom, but sorry, your dice are shocking.
That was just a wrong move from the start, mate. You know what my dice are
Then
like.
Nuffle really to turn the screw, decided let's have pouring rain. And yes, you can see there, look, there is a dead gobbo who was eaten by the troll. A thing of beauty, absolutely wonderful to experience as well. So yeah, so I decided to get that touchdown early and try and force the game. The ball went into the kickoff went into the Underwood end zone, and despite pouring rain, despite 4-up pickups, 3-up handoffs, rushes, 4-up handoffs, 4-up passes, 4-up handoffs, all the rest of it, Carl went end to end. It was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it was amazing.
To do that. It was lovely, and I think it was nice to see that. I really enjoyed it. I think Luke, you did as well, and I know Tom had some. It was really entertaining as well. Just to go back then to form, another and miss next game injured elf. Then, as you can see there, another foul. I did manage to hurt one little goblin. Yeah, I know, terrible. And as I had a plan to make it to try and get it back to 2-all. Failed the pickup. 3-up, of course, within the rain with a reroll. Failed the pickup. Got blocked off the ball. The gutter runner went in. 4-up pickup. Why not? Dodged out, went round and set up the cage and scored, which was there. So yeah, it was the end of the match. It was brutal, but it was a lot of fun, I have to say. Big thank you to Carl. My only saving grace, I know Carl had a lot of SP and will come on because he went and played a double header. My only, and as you can see, just see the team as we go into our second match looking quite thin on the ground. I did roll a random and I did get dodge as an elite skill, which is on an elf.
All bouncers.
Yeah, you're the only one so far to get an elite skill in a random selection.
I think that was Nuffle had felt maybe a slight inkling of pity, Tom. I can only hope as well. So Carl playing, looking very good, very comfortable with the Underworld denizens, I thought. Played a lot of Skaven, so he knows that area as well. Playing with a troll this year, not a roger. Luke, your thoughts? You played with trolls and rogers in your time. Any preference?
Well, they fill different roles. I think in Underworld, it's probably a tougher choice where the Roger gives you an easier frenzy chain push, but the Troll gives you that kind of longer throw teammate one turn option. I think they're the two roles you kind of take up with it. But with Gutter Runner now just being a bit better and access to hit and run and sidestep and skilling up in leagues quicker, you kind of have that bit built in one turn like innately. So it might have been, that might be the choice Carl's gone with, taking the Troll in having the throw teammate. And with Strong Arm and Bullseye and Lethal Flight, I think in a league they're quite fun having that extra ammo. But yeah, so I think I mean, how did you find it? Did you find the Troll a menace to get around? Would you have rather it been a Rat Ogre?
I thought the Roger was, I think he only failed one activation all day. So it's one of those, when your big guy's in form, it's a great thing to have as well without that risk. And I thought Carl used him well as well. And that threat of throw teammate is always there as well. Okay, he did eat one of the teammates on another time. He did sort of crash, but generally that Roger threat, especially when he moves, was always pretty useful. The one thing which, as a Edge player, which was nice that it wasn't there, was prehensile tail on the Roger, which always can trip you up. No pun intended.
Yeah.
Tom, is there anything else you'd like to add, or just want to apologise for your dice?
Oh, you can borrow my good dice next time if you want. So yeah, you're more than welcome to. I personally think that if you are short of dice, there are plenty of dice to buy in Aardvarks and Dragons before even coming close to using mine. That's just my little tip to anyone else. I completely sympathise with you on this, because it's clearly was one of those games where when the dice are rolling hot for one person, it just really tips the scales, unfortunately. It sounds, luckily, as you say, 2 bits of silver lining. You got that dodge on the random, and also you managed to keep your War Dancer as well. So you've still got both War Dancers. That could have been very, very expensive on that moment.
I'm quite glad we made the sponge automatic this season, to give that extra bit of protection for these kind of things.
It does. And from my personal, I will owe yourself, Mr. Phibbs and Mr. Co, at least a glass of beer in the pub for saying that's a brief thank you as well. The one thing I would say, Ragnar Kills, he's put in chat as well, do I have the Wood Elf dice? I don't. If you have a spare pair, a spare set, I'd be more than happy to either give a donation to charity for them as well, so I can make that little team complete as well. But that's beautiful. Thank you very much for your generosity. Okay, moving away from the Assassins group then as well. We'll come to talk about the names of the groups and the makeup shortly as well. We're going to move away from Assassins into the Blades group as well. We have now our very own Mr. Tom Hovell against Josh Skillyrag as well, who is in there as well. Nurgle against Necro. Very interesting matchup on this. A 1-1 draw between Romero's Chosen and the Black Shuck Ballers as well. Mr. H, do you want to give us a brief synopsis of how this went for you, first match of the season?
Yeah, so this was a really interesting match, very close. I was right on form by losing the kickoff, but Josh was very kind to say, well, I'll kick to you. So I was like, fine, off we go. And I thought, play it safe, play easy, use a werewolf and to secure the ball. So that was my first re-roll gone, because I just rolled a 1, and then I rolled a 1, and then I rolled a 1 again. So already on the back foot, managed to pick it up, and then I started to move up the pitch, and thank goodness for regen and the actual magic sponge, because those Nurgle are dangerous. Those Pestigors with horns are completely crippling me, and were taking out players left, right, and centre. So I was having to regen quite a lot. So I thought, right, just speed up the sideline and score a first try.
Tried, I mean, touchdown.
Touchdown, sorry, wrong thought. So yeah, so then I obviously kicked to Josh and realized that steady footing, one of these new skills, is an absolute menace. I tried so many times. I managed to break cages, managed to get a werewolf in, and frenzy, blitz, first frenzy, pow. All right, roll the dice. Oh, hang about. I've got steady footing. Rolls a 6. Doesn't fall over. Keeps the ball. Luckily, frenzy gets them second time. And that happened 3 times throughout the game. It was very, very close.
Didn't you say you had a turn where you frenzied, he steady footinged, you rolled the pow again, and he steady footinged again?
Again, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Incredible.
And the fact was, that's in a cage. So you're kind of risking one of your best players, a werewolf, first of all, going into the cage, and now the blooming sod's still standing, and your werewolf is right in the middle of everyone. So you're like, oh dear, here we go. But luckily, you know, both sides, we kind of matched each other. So the bloaters were really useful, but then equally I had my flesh golem. So we're kind of matching off on that side of things. What was the thing about the bloaters that was really... Oh, yeah, foul appearance. Yeah, so foul appearance happened a couple of times, actually on both sides. My actual...
of course, the Wraith.
Yeah, my Wraith. And luckily, actually, my Wraith, I luckily got him as most valued player because he was a menace. He was really getting in the way. So sidestep, and also we talk about elite skills. He was the only one with an elite skill on the pitch. That block came in so handy. You find that when with a player with block and no one else has got block, people are a little bit afraid of them and don't want to try and take them out. So yeah, he was just moving around quite nicely. But also the touchdown. So as you can see, the touchdown for Romero's chosen was a bloater. So I thought I'd managed to cage him up. He was without the ball on his last term, and it says turn 9. That was actually on turn 8 because we had a problem with tour play. That was on turn 8. Josh got one of his pestigors back up, pick up the ball, and then hand off to a bloater that then had to rush twice to score. And it was like, beautiful. I thought I had him. I thought I'd kept him to a 1-0 by half time, but he managed to bring it back at 1-1. And then the second half was a bit of a stalemate, although we did manage to get the ball up. And I nearly tried a kind of a bit of a Hail Mary, but it just didn't pay off at the end. But yeah, great.
Any luck with Claws in this?
Claws was good. Claws was good. It was very good. It kind of went backwards and forwards quite a bit. It broke armor quite a lot, so it was a lot more useful than I thought it was going to be, especially against the bloaters in particular.
Yeah. Okay, well, a lot of disturbing presence. Luke, as a former Nurgle coach yourself, had a lot of fun playing with Nurgle as well. I'm getting Mark, another Nurgle coach, in chat there as well today. The rot spawn is already there in Josh's team now. He's got, as you can see there, the 3 bloaters and the 4 bloaters and the rot spawn build. Rolled a few there, which is rolling mutations are always fun. Tentacles and extra arms on the Pestigo, which is a good thing, isn't it? Extra arms. Yeah. And then iron hard skin on the bloater as well.
Yeah, no more claws for Tom.
No, it's didn't go.
Isn't it really? Could you have asked for better in terms of randoms on those?
Yeah, I mean, I think tentacles is it's good for you know, kind of getting in and not letting people get away, especially with that steady footing. You know, having to block you off it. But I mean, extra arms is an amazing role on the Pescore, and even more so, Josh kind of embracing the modeling side of it as well, which I know I did and Scott Phipps did for his Nurgle team as well, and kind of modeling and painting those mutations is a kind of a really I think it's my favorite thing about Nurgle.
You may notice that extra arm is holding a certain werewolf's head, which actually got regened, luckily. But yeah,
Okay.
those Nurgle are dangerous.
Okay.
Yeah, and also having the first stacked skill player in the league, so that Pestigore is looking like it might gain a bounty soon.
Wouldn't be surprised. Josh is in there. Great game, bud. Thank you, Josh. Thank you for that. It does take two coaches to have a very good game as well. So kudos to yourself and very own Mr. Hobble. Mr. Hobble, message from Ben BB Nut there. Obviously, that steady footing suggests it might be a skill issue. So I think you need to practice on your power. Just get a better quality of power, or stumble when you do.
One quick clarification on steady footing. So, do they get pushed? So if you get like a POW, do they get pushed into that square, but they still stand? Or is it, so it's not like stand firm?
No,
it happens,
it goes, it's in the square in terms of which that you're blocked back into.
Yeah,
cool. And there's a slightly weird thing where it happens, I think strip ball happens first, and then they roll to stay put, which can mean they can catch the ball still. I think that's the interaction, but have a look in the NAF clarifications. I think it's that way around. So you can rip the ball out of their hands and then they steady footing, it bounces back onto them and they recatch it. I think that is a possible scenario.
Ben says in chat, yes, you are pushed. Strip ball and steady footing is a funny combo, says James. Good evening, Mr. H. Ajax says steady footing is such a great balanced skill indeed. So going from a 1-1 draw, good start, solid way to start the season. So well done, Josh. Well done, Tom. Into, wow, for a first Saturday, for 7 touchdowns in a thriller. As you can see, 42 SP between the two teams. We had Chris de Troyes, Bretonians, against Underworld Denizens and Simon. Simon returning with the Weird Hollow Wanderers from, I believe, season 5, season 6. Chris, new coach, and kudos, played that. This is on the YouTube if you want to go back and have a look. It was a long game indeed, 4 hours of Blood Bowl excitement. Guys taking the right amount of time they need as coaches, in terms, especially with their first match of the season as well. Luke, where to start? An incredible match, 7 touchdowns, 40 SP, everything you really need to.
Yeah, I mean, so I was, kind of in and around, and these two are both in my group, so I was kind of eagerly watching this game, and just as the SPP kept rolling in, I kept thinking, I really need to have a good first game after this, with these two getting ahead so far. It's an amazing, on tie with our record 7 max touchdown games in the league, and Chris Coe said he thinks the last time this happened for Simon was the exact same scenario where he won 4-3 with the Weird Hollow Wanderers. So Simon is now, I think, the coach with the most 7 touchdown games. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of just back-to-back touchdowns and casualties. And both coaches playing kind of neck and neck, and I think that the final touchdown was so close to it coming off, but yeah, Simon just managing to scratch out the win there.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns, to score 3 touchdowns is a great thing, but obviously, in any league, in any competition as well, when you've got a team like Underworld who can score from anywhere particular, I mean, that's nice, isn't it, to have 100k in your bank at the end of a game as well. If we look at Simon's team then as well, already put strip ball. He's rolled strip ball on Skaven Clan Rat, so now he's got the 2 strip ball pieces. Looks like the Roger obviously decided to behave. Just the 1 casualty as well. 3 touchdowns for the Gutter Runner, 9 SP already. Gentlemen, what do you think? Is Simon saving there for a stat bust?
Yeah, I would say so on that one, because he's got the gut runner on 9 and the thrower on 8. So yes, you'd think that he's potentially going for something there, isn't he? Although you would, I don't know, would you put some mutations on those rather than try and get stats by now, or what's your thoughts?
I don't know. I think it's the stat on the gutter runner, and
Scathing thrower, you could possibly. I'd be looking at something like extra arm. You know, to make sure, because the amount of times when you go 3-up-3, you know, you fail that 3-up in terms of your pickup as well, can be so frustrating. Scathing thrower, but obviously Simon has a plan. He knows what he is going to do. Only the one Snotling dead and missing next game, so nothing really to worry about and write home about as well. Chris obviously went straight from this. I don't know if this skill was applied before his second match.
It was, yeah. But the rest of the SBP, he gained a bit in our game, but hadn't spent anything else. I think he had the option to, but didn't.
Definitely. So as well, if we look at these, and obviously this is after 2 games as well, because as we'll come on to, Chris went straight into a game against our very own Luke. We'll mention that shortly. Yep. 7 SP on the Grail Knight, 9 on the Bretonian Knight as well. So a coach there who seems to have a plan and knows what he's going to do. And again, we know that even you might not, you know, you might lose 1 or 2 games during the league, but there are plenty more games to go.
Equally, this is the first kind of Bretonian game in the league, so it's interesting to see that they're no slouchers. Turn 2 with a touchdown straight away. You know, that just shows you what they're capable of doing. So they're not going to be a plodding kind of team, and then turn 6 in touchdown. So it was really hotting up here. So yeah, definitely an interesting one to look out for.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
It is indeed.
And Ajax in chat saying about, as an Underworld coach, enjoying the blitzer. I think I saw multiple times as I came over Simon blitzing with that blitzer, and all he needs is a push, and that having such a big impact on getting the ball stripped every time. Although I did think I saw a Nerves of Steel catch after a strip ball, which is quite fun. Yeah, kind of having the ball ripped away and then caught immediately again by the player holding it, which is again another fun rules interaction with these Brets.
Just before we go on to our next match, just to mention to all of our coaches involved in the league as well, this obviously game took 4 hours. Now, there is no time limit on matches. It's the prerogative of both coaches to decide how long they want to take and play matches at all. Obviously, subject to store opening hours. Mr. Phipps, unfortunately, is not 24/7. I'm sure it's something he doesn't even want to consider. If you are on a time limit, the store do have clocks if you want to use clocks to fix that time in place. You also can agree with your coach and check in with our admin commissioners as well. If you want to, you can pause the game, you can take the relevant pictures and come back at a later date to finish off as needs be. However, if you do that, please be mindful that it might have a knock-on effect if you've got other coaches in the next week or 2, depending on things. So just manage it as you want to, whichever is the best outcome for everybody involved. Okay. Moving on from the Counts group, and just for a really cheap gag on behalf of Dave Rue, I said Counts. Moving on then to Tomb Kings, Mr. James Handley, changing from Skaven in several other leagues and last year's very, very successful team to the mighty Tomb Kings of Kamari at the moment, versus Graham. Graham obviously going from various dwarves and other things, and Amazons last year in particular, staying in that Edge theme with the Elven Union as well. A 1-0 win for the Elves, 8 SP. This could have been a draw for Mr. Handley. I believe he failed a 4-up dodge with reroll. Shame, sorry, bud. And yeah, it was one of those games. James making the comment in chat that missing the movements 7 already. Luke, do you think this is going to be? Is this a good precursor for the Elves? It gives Graham a very good starter, and for this, this show the lack of pace within Tomb Kings.
Yeah, I mean, so Graham has a particularly unique group with having 3 Tomb Kings to practice against. So I think if we're going to have a coach that is good at playing against Tomb Kings, it is going to be Graham by the end of the season. And yeah, I guess, I mean, I came over a couple of times to this game and saw James being forced into positions where he had to kind of try and make those 4-up dodges, with that being the best option he had. And yeah, I think it probably did just come down to speed. But yeah, what do you think, Tom?
Yeah, well, in chat they're saying the mummies also are playing friendly and not breaking armor, which is kind of crazy. When I saw this draw out, so 3 Tomb Kings, an Elven Union, and a Dwarf team, I felt there was actually a little bit of sympathy for the Elven Union team when I saw that come out. But it seems to, the elves do what the elves do, and they clearly speed was their advantage on this side of things. So it's good to see. And also just a little shout out to Lo-Fi Beats to the Bone. There's a little Easter egg in James's logo. So if anyone wants to scan his logo, you can get his playlist.
Beautiful. Mr. James Handley, the man and the coach, he just keeps on giving as well. James, absolutely, you will get no sympathy or pity from me, my friend, especially when you have the audacity to have an extra team mascot reroll for that game as well. But I'm sure against the other Tomb Kings, I'm sure you will have a lot of bone-on-bone action, to quote. Well played, Graham. Good win. You've obviously got some other solid matches. So this, as we come on to look at the groups shortly, it's going to be very interesting. Going on then to our next match, going on to group, which is the Avengers group. No, it's not the MCU, but it is another game where we've got a 4-touchdown team happening as well. This is JD moving away from Dark Elves of the last few seasons into the filthy, wonderful world of Skaven. The Dreadwake Executioners against Will, new coach. Welcome, Will, to the league, and the Rude Boys and Crumpers. 4-1, yes, to the rat, looks good. But if you look at that SP on those orcs, Tom, Tom, I'm going to go to Luke because obviously he knows a thing or two and he's going to have a vested interest in all orc teams this year. 21 SP with only 1 touchdown. That's a pretty good return on an afternoon's work, Luke.
Yeah, this is I've had this kind of quiet concern over Brawling Brutes and league play, which is why I wanted to give them a go and see if it would be as bad as I thought it was going to be. But I mean, this does show the kind of potential balance risk of Brawling Brutes, where being 4-1 down and getting more casualties, more SPP than your opponent is pretty formidable. And I had a quick chat with Will before he left, and he's got a kind of really good spread of SPP across his entire team, but he's very much in the mindset of kind of holding out for skills, and he's interestingly taken more of the, I suppose, the more traditional orc roster, dropping the throwers, only taking 1 goblin, and then kind of maxing out on kind of linemen. So he's got that really strong armor 10 across the board. So he's not taking as many casualties himself and trying to deal as many as he can. And but JD getting 4 touchdowns is, Tom, how did you phrase it? Is that a normal Skaven game?
Yeah. As I say, if you're not scoring 4 touchdowns for Skaven, you're doing something wrong, aren't you? Although to give Will his help him out, he's got Skaven, but he's also got goblins in his group as well. So he's got lots of nice little squishy things to boost his SPP on. Looking at the other leagues, the other orcs are not so lucky by the looks of things. So yeah, well done, Will, on getting this.
Just a quick good evening, JD. He's in chat. Painfully fun game. Had 3 rats at one point. Just one thing I'm just going to draw people's attention to. when we've seen JD with his Dark Elves before, he's had players that he has absolutely randomized, and some have been wonderfully eclectic and sometimes terrifying combinations in terms of the players. If we go back to some of his Vanrith, I think was his Dark Elf, his Witch Elf. JD has been playing it very well. He's got a nice couple of hatred, misses the Skaven Blitzer next game, but he's already got wrestle and sidestep on a gutter runner. So there's your one-turn touchdown gimme, which is always nice as well. No one cares really about clan rats. They're what they are as well. Okay, he'll go into the next. He's got treasury to buy. He's got 4 rerolls in the bag. So from a Skaven perspective then, Tom, obviously you know that 4 is a minimum required number of touchdowns. So gentlemen, Skaven, that's about as good a start you can get for a game. Yeah, 4 touchdowns, lots of SP, and 2 skilled up gutter runners. So despite the loss of 2 positionals on your filthy rats, just down to the 2 gutter runners, could you have got any better?
No, I don't think so. Unless he kind of got some skills on some of those blitzers as well. But no, that seems a pretty decent start, and a lovely pirate ship to go with it as well.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
amazingly themed theme, which I always adore.
Definitely, JD is bringing his entrance for his team onto the pitch is full flags flying everywhere with his pirate ship as well. So setting standards. So great first game, JD. Well done indeed. Well played, Will. Some great SP, great casualties against the rats there. Look forward to seeing how he develops this team. So then we are going across to the first game where we had our first coach from earlier. This is Carl, the Honeyman, and his Underworld Denizens going against the current reigning champion, who is in the group Assassins. God help us all, and Nuff will have mercy on our souls. The man, the myth, the legend, he's in chat. Good evening, Tom Huns, and a 3-0 win. And reading about this, obviously at SP galore, and despite having Nobler, Tom won the kickoff, took out Nobler relatively quickly as well. There you go, injury again. Turn 1, get him off the pitch. From what I've read between these 2 coaches as well, Wrestle played a significant impact for the Bretonians as well, especially negating that little bit of block that was available to the Underworld Denizens. Ominous times, Luke. Ominous times for everyone else in this league and for everyone else in the division. Perfect start for Mr. Hans.
Yeah, I think so. He's got a really good basis to build his team off of, getting 19 SPP in first game, block and guard already. It's a really strong start, and I'm a little bit sad that Nobler got took out turn 1 and didn't do what he did to you to Tom, but I guess Nuffle chooses his favorites.
I'd like to think I had filled Nuffle's quota of chainsaw deaths already in his first game as well, but Tom, maybe the dice didn't go quite as well in the second game as they did for the first. Always difficult to play that second game on your opening day as well.
Yeah, I just see that clearly the Bretonians, being the perfect gentlemen's, try to protect your honor by giving him a damn good slapping by the looks of things. And it's also, as you say, a cheeky one from Tom by obviously clearly studying the previous game and knowing where the threats are and taking Nobler straight out, because clearly he saw that was going to be a threat. As I said with the other one, Bretonians, really interesting. Their setup is with that wrestle, just completely killing any kind of both downs or anything like that. That nerves are still, and I'd just be curious to see how well the steady footing works for the Bretonians, if it works as well as it does for the Nurgle.
Very good. A very, very good start for Tom. Yeah, Tom saying in chat, as soon as the chainsaw was gone, I knew the game should be a win. The Skaven Blitzer doesn't do much against Brett yet, and the Blodge Gutter Runner gets shut down by Wrestle. Some bad luck on the Denizens' sides. I believe there were a few casualties when teammates were trying to be thrown into cages. I did read that from Carl and on Discord, and yeah, trying to make him roll as many dodges as possible. Steady footing didn't come up once. Wow. So there you go. So obviously Tom just...
But then he also clarified because they didn't get hit.
So here's a lesson: if you want to negate steady footing, don't hit them. It's very simple, very simple indeed. Might not be productive in your Blood Bowl season, but yeah, it might be. So we're going on from one coach playing their second match of the season. Again, good weekend for Carl. You know, he's got 3 touchdowns. He's got 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss. There's a long way to go in the season as well. Now we go on to our very own Mr. Luke Baggett. Good afternoon, good evening, Mr. Luke. Ready for your moment in the spotlight. Playing his Tier 1 coward-esque team of Orcs against Chris, coming straight off a 4-hour marathon there. And obviously that 4-3 match as well. Luke not just taking Tier 1, but taking Bomber as well. Luke Baggett. Come on, explain yourself, explain the match. Low SP, but looks like it was
I've got no shame. I feel no shame. It's league, it's serious. No, Chris, you know, he had taken the block and I think an APOC or something like that, which bumped him up to 1080. Which meant I could take Bomber, so of course I did. Yeah, Bomber kind of did quite well in this. I got quite a few knockdowns where I needed, and also I think so that turn 6 foul came off a turn 5 kamikaze intentional fumble, where he was surrounded by 3 players, so threw it basically at himself, and took 2 of them down with him. And then by then that had freed up my kind of cage to move down securely, and so yeah, it felt like a good drive for me. No kind of major casualties until the kind of turn 8, but yeah, the kind of turn 7 moving up, and then Bomber not being able to throw any more bombs, so using the foul. Rolled 2s, or rolled a 4, 2 and 2, got caught, sent off immediately, which is how it goes, I think, when you're using a Bomber against a brand new player. And I didn't feel bad, but honestly, Chris played that really, really well. I don't think, again, tour play really reflects how close this game was. And I got some lucky dodges, but the kind of 2-up break tackle basically secured me the win in this game. Getting a 2-up dodge away, and then he couldn't chase me. But again, Brett's a kind of actually a really fun team to play against. I thought they'd be quite bland, but, you know, just like reading the rules of them. But I think they've got a lot of potential, and Chris has definitely got a really good season ahead of him, based on how he played in this one.
Cool. How did the team captain come into effect?
Yep, secured a reroll. I haven't had a game where it hasn't, but then also Orcs having 3 rerolls to start with, you know, means you get 6 opportunities to get one back. And Chris did a good job of, I think the first half, focusing that captain, and I think getting a knockout on maybe turn 5 or something like that, meaning I didn't get the opportunity to re-roll those later ones. But yeah, and then kind of really struggling without block on the big uns. That was kind of a lot of re-rolls used just where rolling those both downs, but I've managed to got 1 already, so working towards that second one on the other big un now.
Nice. So Chris's second defeat, but however, there is a long way to go, and some very high praise there indeed from our own Mr. Baggett. Mr. Luke Baggett starting very well. Congratulations, sir, despite the fact it is Tier 1 and you had to take a star player and you've got your team captain and you've got break tackle. Are there any depths which this man will not succumb to? Absolutely not, and that's why we made it pieces. Okay, our last match for a roundup. This took place yesterday, featuring the two stalwarts, legends. Is there any other hyperbole I can use? Probably, but that would get us cancelled straight away. So we've got Justin and his Imperial Knobs, a feather and a smile, versus the return of the Bitey Ducks, the A&DBBL's very own Mr. Christopher Coe, and the Lizards as well. Pouring rain did not help Mr. Coe on this one. And Luke, do you want to take us through over? And again, by the way, everybody, this is on YouTube. If you want to go and have a look, please do. And momentum really went the Knobs' ways to start with. After, as we can look at that, casualty, injury, started to lose a few skink, and then it was a long old afternoon for Mr. Coe.
Yeah, I mean, I caught most of this game on the kind of live stream and spoke to Chris a little bit afterwards, which there's not really much more he could have done, I think. Justin managed to just keep getting removals back to back, kind of systematically removing those skinks. And when you're down to one skink in pouring rain with a lizard team, the kind of 5 and 6 up pickup suddenly are your best options, which it's a tough place to be in. But I mean, I suppose on the positives, he didn't lose any Sauruses. I think he magic sponged his Saurus loss during this game. But there he's kind of, when you're down Sauruses, you're then really down. But you can journeyman skink lineman, and he's got 2 on the roster still. His skink his chameleon skink saw what was happening to the rest of the skinks and just decided to stay in the knockout box for the entire game, which is probably the right decision there. But yeah, kind of no major SBP for the Ducks, but Justin got a really good start to the league here. Kind of really even and strong SPP gains across his players. No skills taken yet. I'd be surprised if Justin didn't have a plan for these, but I'm imagining he's saving up for those chosens, or even up for the skills, especially on the blitzers and the thrower.
6 on the thrower, as we can see there, 5 already on the blitzer, and he's 1 touchdown away from the other blitzer as well. Tom, was this a one of those classic first matches of the season? The Sauruses obviously no Crocs. Chris decided not to do that. They've got no skill, so no block, no tackle, nothing like that as well. No dodge, as always they would. Was this a question of a few too many inbuilt skills and a few, a bit more of a rigidity and backbone of the Imperial abilities versus the Lizardmen out of the gate?
I think I played against the Bitey Ducks as in a friendly before league with my Necromantic, and I got trounced 3-0. So we always know that Chris knows how to play his Lizards. However, we know that Justin is a supreme tactician, and you mentioned that he hasn't put any skills on there. I'm sure he's just waiting to see who his next opponent is before he decides on what he puts or whether he puts anything on them. Watching some of this game, it did seem a bit of unfortunate where the dice were very, very good. I think Pro came in very well in a couple of times. So giving extra re-rolls as it does to the Imperial nobility. Equally, with the likes of Wrestle as well on 4 of your team, you've got that definite thing of just being able to put people down rather than have to do a both down kind of scenario. Can't remember seeing anything around whether the give and go was any use at all in this game. But again, I think everyone kind of knows when you're playing against Lizards, you just focus on those skinks. If you get them off the pitch, then you've kind of can dominate a little bit more with the ball handling. So shame for Chris, but I'm fearing both of them as they're both in my group.
I'm sure you will have a wonderful experience for both of them. Well played, Justin. Very good game. Well played, sir. Commiserations, Chris. But as we messaged last night, long way to go yet. So I feel that pain for you as well. So they are the 9 matches that we've already seen in the first 48 hours. We're just going to have a quick look at the preliminary standings and go through the groups. So if we look at our groups, Luke, did you want to mention any particular reason around the naming convention? We'll just get people to
On
work.
mine, or generally?
Or the league,
mean,
the names.
The league. So I think so. Let me just double check this. I think
I believe it's obviously. I'll hold your hand there. Don't worry. It's
Please do.
they're named after teams of legend.
They are, yeah. And so there was, I think, we were toying of trying to get it to work with like past winners, but it kind of didn't work out. But yeah, I think the team legends is a nice way to do it, especially starting, this being the inaugural season 3/25. And I'm sure there's definitely a low blow for Tom there where there's not actually a season 3 season 25 winner yet, so he's got no title to hold, but I'll let him keep it.
As we are, the chat seems to have gone quiet. Are we still on, by the way? I'm assuming so.
We are still on. They're just love listening to our voices, Scott.
Maybe people have absolutely fallen asleep, such as the excitement that we share and the aura of our personalities. Okay, just looking at Group Horde then to start with. Graham sitting there at the top, the one dodge of much bash as well. Early days yet, I'm sure James will have a lot to say on this group. 1 Elven Union, 3 Tomb Kings, and 1 Dwarf as well. Ouch is the only word I'll say to that, Tom.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a painful one. Although it'll be interesting to see, because let's see how many touchdowns there'll be, because there's not going to be a lot, I don't expect, with 3 Tomb Kings and a Dwarf. Hopefully elves will be able to stay on top just on touchdown score.
It's a really tough one to predict, that group, where I mean, I think a betting man would say a Tomb King is going to go through, but that's probably on statistics or probabilities of quantity of team only. But yeah, I think that whole group is a tough one to kind of predict here.
It is. I think it's gonna be a bit of a. I'm not expecting any 4-3s in terms of high scoring matches on this one, but I agree. I think this is going to be a very, very tough group indeed. Good luck to all of those coaches as well. We move into Blades, 2 games done already. So we have Justin sitting proudly there at the top with his, I'm not going to say that's cheap gag, but with his Imperial Nobility perched at the top, feather and a smile. Behind him, obviously, our very own Josh in chat and Mr. Hobble there after their 1-1 draw. Ben to come in with his gnomes as well, so that'd be very interesting. And then Mr. Co as the lizardmen. Tom, you've got a very interesting mix of there. You've got sort of middle of the road. You've got a bit of block with the ducks as well. You've got some gnome, a very dodge and edge, and see what trees they bring. And obviously Nurgle, who you've played once already.
Yeah, Chris bringing up the only tier 1 team in that division, so yeah, it's going to be an interesting one there. Yeah, sorry,
never mind, go on.
But there's it'd be interesting to see how the gnomes play. Equally, those Imperial Nobility are looking very strong already.
Okay, there's lots to do. So lots to do, lots to look at that. We then move on to the group 3, the Avengers. And just a reminder, there are 7 groups, 5 coaches in each. It's a home and an away format, so each coach will play 8 games. Plenty of fun for the next 4 months as well. Avengers. JD Clark and the Rat racing right to the top as well after that 4-1 victory. Will in second place, this is. We've also got joined by Andy, last year's runner-up, based just purely on a one dice roll. We've got goblins, we have vampires with Acredes, and we've got Nick and his Nurgle. Well, this is going to be a lot of fun, Luke, and I think that 4-1 JD had, that's going to give him a very good start. The question is, will he be able to hang on to that?
Yeah, it's a tough group. A lot of strong coaches there, and strong teams too. Really looking forward to seeing how Scott does with his vampires. See how they perform in this season. And again, goblins. Did they get the buffs they deserve? Maybe. Kind of nearly there, but yeah, Andy's always got a gimmick, and is I think embracing the stunty side more and more. So yeah, so I think a really fun group. Looking forward to seeing how that one plays out.
Just going to click on Nick's team there. Again, he has gone for the 2 rerolls. Nick, over the last few seasons, has actually played proper Blood Bowl, so no rerolls at all. And it's great to actually see Nick back in A&DBBL in Blood Bowl division as well. Good luck to Nick. Good luck to everybody else in that division. Moving on to the Stars division, John Reeder and the Hellfire Howlers taking the early lead. We also have Human, another Skaven, Jane moving on to Rats this year. We do have Bretonians as well, and Simon there with his Orcs. Again, we have a really nice mixture here of Adge and Bash, and the uncertainty that can be mixed up between them all as well. Anything catching your eye there? Any matches that either of you two gentlemen are looking forward to as a result?
I'm going to be interested to see how those humans play, because there's been lots of talk about humans. You know, we've spoken about orcs and how they're completely changed. Humans seem to have had that little buff with increasing the strength on the catchers, and also with the blitzers with tackle. So that's going to be a really interesting one, especially if you're playing against Skaven. So Human and Skaven will be quite an interesting match, I think.
Luke?
Yeah, and I mean, even against you, like your ghouls and I presume your werewolves eventually, having that inbuilt block and tackle, I think is I think Humans got more beaten up than they probably deserve in 2025 in how the community broadly received them. But yeah, I think there's some really strong players here. I think again, probably tighter than it looks.
Agree. I think it's early days. I think it's going to be particularly for the Skaven and the Humans. It's that I think it'll be interesting how their first few matches go. I think the quicker they can get some wins under their belt, then they'll have more of a chance. Obviously, the changes to Humans that we've mentioned, suddenly you've got movement 8, strength 3, as opposed to movement 9, strength 2 with the only 2 gutter runners. What a year to be a Skaven coach, hey? But JD proving us otherwise. So good luck to all our Stars coaches as well. The Destroyers League, no game played yet. Mr. Humphrey, former of the Wood Elves Brigade, evening mark in chat, versus Tomb Kings, Black Orc, Goblins, and Jamie and his Dwarf Light OWA setup as well. There's everything you want, surely there, Luke, in a Blood Bowl division. You have the new and the block and the relentlessness of the Tomb Kings. We have Sam returning and the punch in of the Black Orcs as well. And then we all know Mr. Scott Norman brings a wonderfully chaotic eccentricity, a beautiful thing for the drumsticks. And Tom, you've got about 30 seconds to remember what drumsticks means, and then we'll get a donation for the charity as well.
I can't remember it. No.
No one. Sorry. This week. Looking forward to that. Anything taking your interest or piquing you in particular, Luke?
I think yeah, I mean, if this group isn't the division with the most fouls in by the end of the league, I'll be severely disappointed. And I think that's also a challenge for all other divisions, to not let them just get it without trying. And yeah, there's there's OWA here. We've got Bashy Tomb Kings and Nurgle. I think again, it's just a really tight group to call here. No games played yet. But I think I've seen a few in the calendar already start to fill up, which yeah, eager to see how they go.
Yep. Good luck to all the coaches there. Moving on to the counts. Yes, Dave Rue, I said counts. Our very own Mr. Luke Baggett sitting there proudly in his box at the top. Simon just behind, purely on the casualties, I believe, as well. All of 5 completions already for Simon, so obviously looking to harvest that SP. We also have Necros, Chaos Renegades, and Bretonians. I think Chris is going to have a very, very big influence on how this league goes still. Lots to play for. Luke, anyone who you are looking at thinking, don't want to play those teams, or is there anyone, you just want to get those games over sooner rather than later?
Yeah, I mean, games I don't want to play. I mean, Denzians are always a pain in my backside, but again, Dave is obviously always a brilliant coach. But I'm really looking forward to seeing how Renegades do here as well, where haven't yet played them in this season, played 2 solid seasons beforehand. But yeah, Jack and I think hopefully might be playing our first game Thursday, so it'd be good to see how they perform.
Look forward to seeing how that goes, and good luck. Anything particular, Tom, that you see there? Any thoughts? Any matches that potentially you want to see? Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I quite like to see how Orcs versus Necromantic Horror perform. That'd be an interesting one. But just looking at these groups, it's just so nice to see such a breadth of different teams. And I know apart from the 3 Tomb Kings one, it's quite a nice spread. So there's some really fun groups here. Currently at the moment, it's too close to kind of even think what the scores are going to be on half of these groups. So it's going to be really good fun.
It is. And the one game for me, I'm actually looking forward to already. I'm actually looking forward to the rematch between Simon and Chris as well, to see how is Chris going to approach that in terms of, focusing on those rats, especially with both teams that look like they are going to have a few SP. So as the team value progressively increases for the Denizens versus the Bretonians, how are they each going to impact the other as well? And how is that going to influence their play style? So looking forward to watching that rematch. How does it go? Moving on to the last group, Assassins, the champ sitting at the top of the league. The honoured ones there. Good evening, Mr. Huns. Enjoy that. Followed by Carl. Vampires and Bretonians yet to play, and the Wood Elves of the bottom. Only one way to go. And further down is not an option. So lots to play for, lots to do. I remember to everybody as well, if you do get your fixtures in, get your calendars in this week already. As you can see, we've already got 5 games booked in to bring you next week. If you would like to join us for next week of any future Monday night roundups, let us know. Drop us a note, a Discord, however you want to. Whether you are new to A&DBBL, whether you are new to Blood Bowl or whether you're an experienced old hand like some of them, let us know and you're more than welcome. For all your other Blood Bowl excitement as well, we will be streaming more and more games as the season progresses. We do hope to have the New Dice Please podcast. For those attending, there is the Net Point Championship this weekend in Lowestoft, so good luck to all of our coaches who are taking part in that as well. Luke, any final words of wisdom from yourself?
No, nothing major. I mean, yeah, keep getting your games scheduled on Tour Play. It's really great. If you could let us know whether you're keen to be streamed, and we'll kind of do our best when we can to get those games on BloodbowlLive. Yeah, keep an eye on the Discord. I put an announcement about the kind of hatred interactions on Tour Play. I might just forward that one again because it was kind of when everyone was deep in excitement post draw. Otherwise, keep recording everything. keep being great coaches. And yeah, Tom, any closing words?
No. Good luck to everyone. Just to notice, Scott is closed until Wednesday. So if you have sent any messages asking for bookings of tables, don't expect to get a response until Wednesday morning. He's not ignoring you. He's just off. He's got his own life as well as the shop. Really looking forward to seeing all these games and how all the groups kind of come about. Yeah. Good luck, everyone.
Thank you, gentlemen, for your time tonight. Thank you, chat, for your wonderous and fabulous contributions. Whether you are a member of this league or whether in future state you'd like to join this league, or whether you are just a complete Blood Bowl addict, Ben Dazamak, looking at you there, gentlemen. Thank you very much indeed. This has been A&DBBL Monday Night Roundup. I've been Scott, not that one. Keep Blood Bowling, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.